People, it is time for the Fantasy Football Show Friday night start bench edition, where we break down all of your week 4 start bench questions, everything you've got cooking, and we're doing it live. I'm going to hit the intro and then let's get to it.
This is the Fantasy Football Show with your host, Smitty.
Top 5 running back. You're watching the Fantasy Football Show.
Smitty!
Take a lap.
What is going on, everybody? My name is Smitty. You're watching the Fantasy Football Show, and we are live here for the next hour or so. I've got a little special treat for you as well. Not only am I live right now answering all of your fantasy football start bench questions, your trade questions, you name it, whatever it is for week 4, I got you covered. Smitty's got your back. I've got a little surprise for you. I've got a good 20-30 minute premiere launching right after the show. Double decker of fantasy goodness on the slate for today, on the docket. So as soon as we're done here, I'm going to drop the link. We're going to go about an hour and 8 minutes. About an hour and 8 minutes. As soon as an hour and 8 minutes are up, we go straight to the live premiere. I'll drop the link where it is. We get to it and talk about risk. Who's a risk walking into... I need to put these earphones down. Walking into week 4. Who's a big risk walking into week 4? We got Overcome here. We've got Abdallah, Steven, Michael, Hurt, MSK, Blackbeard's in the house. What's up, people? Let's go over all of your fantasy football goodness right now. And of course, you can drop me a voicemail over on Instagram right now and we will play it. So get to going on that right now. Instagram, The Fantasy Football Show. Drop your voice messages right now. And if you haven't heard, we're going to be dropping... The podcast is turning into a video show on Spotify. We are one of a few fantasy shows, if there's any besides like 1 or 2 big ones. We are one of the big dogs that got the call, and the Fantasy Football Show is turning into a video show on Spotify. Every single podcast going forward, once the transition happens in like maybe late October, we will be a video show on Spotify. They don't have very many. Joe Rogan's on there right now. We are going to be rocking it, dropping it every single day, video style on Spotify. I cannot wait. I'm so excited. Buy pitch low, absolutely. Start Kirk or Tannehill at your flex. Oh man, probably Kirk. No wide receivers. Thank you, Todd. And then again, in about an hour and 7 minutes, we're going to jump from here to the premiere that I have all queued up and ready to go. Let me make sure that's processing okay. Let me click on this. Processing will begin shortly. What is that about? What is that about? What's the holdup there? I don't know about that. I might have to re-upload while I'm live. What's going on? Processing will begin shortly. It's pending. This is the second time this has happened. I've uploaded, got all the content, graphics, everything's ready to go, and then it just sits there. It just sits there. We might have to do that mid-show. Oh. Okay, Overcome with a super chat. Thank you, Overcome. McLaurin, ever drop a ball that hits his hands? It's a good question. McLaurin's a beast, man. I love McLaurin. I'm sure he dropped a ball or 2, Overcome, but I get your point. And I love McLaurin. He's like at the top of tier 2. You know what I mean? Like AJ Brown probably dropped into that tier. And if you're trading AJ Brown right now and you could get a McLaurin, that's a good move. Because AJ Brown, we don't know how. You're going to see me talk about him on the show that debuts. The premiere is going to launch right after we're done here. We're all going to go over together and watch the premiere. I talk about AJ Brown, and you can buy him or you can sell him. You can sell him or you can buy him. Mark Cleveland in the house. Appreciate you joining. Mark, I've got a beef with your league, pal. I don't know if you guys know, I'm in a league with Mark Cleveland. I joined his family league. I decided I'd join Mark Cleveland's family league. Because Mark Cleveland's such a diehard of the show. He's been with me from the beginning. Dude orders phone calls all the time. He's got my text line. He's such a good supporter. Super chats constantly. And I'm in a league with him. And let me pull this up. What was it? It was for Hopkins. And he's got I don't know if it's a family member. I don't know what this guy's problem is. But he continues to offer me. Not like the worst trade I've ever gotten. Multiple worst trades I've ever gotten in my entire life. This guy continues to send them. He's relentless. He sends these offers. Let me pull this in. I'm gonna blur his name to protect the innocent. But this is awful. This is awful. Actually, his team name is a coach's name. So I can pull it up. I can drop it, Mark. Right? I can drop it. It's not his real name. This is his name is his team's Bill Belichick. He sends me this offer last night. Hopkins. He wants to graciously give me Osborne, Devontae Smith, and Beasley. And so I got tired of it. He offered me Beasley and I think Osborne last week for Hopkins. He upped it this time. He threw in Devontae Smith. But what I did, Mark, is I countered. I hit the counter button, and I offered him. I want to say I asked for his best player, and I gave up Mitchell. I asked for his 2 best players. I asked for 2 Hopkins type players, and I gave him just like Mitchell. And he had the nerve to go tell Mark Cleveland. He goes to Mark Cleveland, runs over to Mark, and says, "Mark, why is your man offering me these bad trade offers?" It's like Bill didn't even get the point. He didn't get the message. Come on, Mark. Bill Belichick. Tell Bill I want him on the show right now to explain himself. It's the worst offers I've ever gotten in my life. I appreciate them. I like getting offers. I'm not that mad at them. You can keep sending me offers. I don't mind. But that's just, let's try to have some fun. Let's try to actually get it. You want to get a deal done, Bill? Because this is Bill from accounting. Hey, Smitty, would you trade Hopkins if I throw in Osborne? I know you don't want Beasley. I know you don't want Beasley, but if I throw in Osborne, does that make you want Beasley? Bill. Okay, let's see here. Super chat from Overcome, got that. Thank you again, pal. Let's see if we can get some of these questions. I got offered six bench crap for 3 starting studs today. That's the way people are rolling right now. Sorry, I meant to say, hey, Schmitty. Overcome with another super chat. 5 people asked in the Discord who to trade J-Rob for. Who to trade J-Rob for? That's a good question. J-Rob for McLaurin. J-Rob for Diggs, DK, Ridley, of course. McLaurin for... sorry. Rewind. J-Rob for McLaurin. J-Rob for Ridley, Diggs, DK. J-Rob for Gibson, maybe. J-Rob for, JT. You might have to give more. Some of those cases, you might not be able to do it straight up, but I'm trying to give you the target player. The target player is JT. The target player is Gibson. The target player is Ridley, DK, Diggs. All before kickoff on Sunday, or you're not going to get it done, because half, if not more, if not all of them, will blow up in week 4, and then c'est la vie. No more buying low on those bad boys. But that's the target players who I'm giving you. In some of those cases, you got to add more. It's kind of like a scale, okay? You got to scale. Do we have anything? Here we go. Hold on. It's like this, okay? It's like this. You put in Ridley, okay? Here's J-Rob. Let's put J-Rob in the scale. Boom. You put Ridley in the scale. It goes way back like that. Okay, what do we got to add in on the J-Rob side? We'll put in Brandon Cooks, okay? We'll put in Eli Mitchell, who probably won't have a job soon. now we can get Ridley. The target player is super important because everything else revolves around that target player. How much value you add to the scale to trick the scale, right? You're throwing matchbooks in there. You're throwing whatever you can. Find your target player, trade away your player, add what you can to make it look at least even. Damian Harris or Gaskin, probably Damian Harris right now, but bro, you take him. He rides out full go. He full sends this week, right? Does well. James White's out for the year, but Stevenson, the rookie running back, is on the heels, and no one knows it, but he's going to be on the heels of Damian Harris. You've got another player in there. What's his name? Who's the other guy? I'm blanking on his name. Either one's going to be probably at the heels of Damian Harris in no time. Damian Harris has got like a short shelf life, but I think he does well this week. I think by default he's going to get a lot of carries, but you sell high on Damian Harris coming out of week four. No, but yeah, I've already said Stevenson. Who's the other running back? What's his name? Blanking out. Somebody help me out. What's the darn kid's name? It is J.J. Taylor. So J.J. Taylor or, thank you, Brian. J.J. Taylor or Stevenson will probably be in the lineup at some point. Ramondre Stevenson's really good. Keep in mind, Ramondre Stevenson tore up the preseason. He was like a machine. Eventually he gets in there. J.J. Taylor is kind of the James White, but Stevenson's the guy that probably comes in and takes Damian Harris's job, so Damian Harris and JJ could both be in, or Stevenson and JJ could both be in there. But I sell Damian Harris high, but he could have a really, really, really good week 4. Vike says he thinks Dame Harris is going to be even better now. Well, Vikes, we know this because you own him, so I don't blame you for feeling that way, but I'm trying to tell you that you might want to sell high, pal, coming out of this week because he'll get you a lot. And so I think it's a good idea. Trade Madison and Devontae Smith to the Cook owner for Damian. Not enough for me. I'd rather ride with Madison's potential. You're selling low. That guy's coming. Don't let the Dalvin Cook owner come in and be like, give me my backup to save and protect my season, and I will give you a guy that may not have a job in 4 weeks from now. You got to hold the Cook owners, Madison, over their head. You know what I'm saying? I don't think I can sell him high. That's kind of a good point, pal. Oh, yeah. This week's going to be a tough week. Yeah, scratch that. I'm sorry. He's not going to have a good week this week. He's not. My bad. I was thinking he was playing. Smitty did a poo-poo. Yep. My fault. Next week. Sell high off Damian Harris next week. My bad. But this is good news for Stevenson, because if Damian Harris goes out and does nothing against the Bucks, then Stevenson's going to be in a good position to be like, hey, what about me? So after next week, let Damian Harris do a little damage and then sell him. But good catch, man. Good catch, pal. And to think, I got a long nap today, and I'm still rate my 0-3 team, Smitty. Lamar, Kamara, Najee, A-Rob, Deontay, Higbee, A.J. Brown, Jamar Chase, Mike Davis. God, man, the luck you must have had points against, pal. Kamara, Najee. I mean, I try and sell the moment A-Rob shows signs of life. I would probably dump him. Damian Harris, I just said Damian's going to do well and then took it back because I forgot about the Tampa Bay matchup. For some reason, I was picturing him playing. Who did I think they were playing this week? New England. I'm thinking of next week. I was looking at next week's stuff already, and I must have had next week on the mind. Yeah, I mean, you never know. I mean, there are, like, Cook had it's probably not likely, but Cook had a good game. He wasn't getting more than 4.2 probably yards per carry last year when he did well against Tampa Bay. But the odds are stacked against Damian Harris. But New England could feed him a ton and just make him inch out, 3.9 yards a pop on 22 carries, and he'd end up having a decent yardage day. Or he could fall into the end zone. Like, those things can still happen, but definitely less excited than I was 10 minutes ago. Pollard or Jacoby? This week, probably Jacoby Myers, pal. Do I think Ramsey is going to cover AJ because of their pass? Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't think it has to do with a pass fight, who covers who, pal. But I think Ramsey is definitely a concern. Have Kamara and traded for... I'm sorry, I was... Jordan, your team. Jordan's 0-3 team. Jordan, try and trade AJ Brown, or A-Rob, the moment he gains any kind of value. AJ Brown, I would look to potentially trade high right now, as high as you can. I guess you're trading him a slightly low value, but try and trade him for like you could almost get Ridley if you were to give up like a... What running back could you give? Go to the Zeke owner. See what wide receiver he has. Try and give him Pollard and AJ Brown for a tiny bit better wide receiver, or wide receiver that might be a little bit lesser. Maybe a McLaurin, like let's see, as McLaurin. Get rid of the headache of not having AJ Brown for maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks. We don't really know how long it's going to be. So I would try and do something like that with AJ Brown, so you don't have to wait on him. Mike Davis and AJ Brown for a slightly maybe better or lesser wide receiver that's playing right now, like McLaurin, like Keenan Allen, of course Ridley, of course Diggs, of course DK. You could also trade Jamar Chase. I know he played already. I don't know how your league's going to handle that. Some leagues will push through all the players that didn't play yet, and the other player that didn't play goes off the roster. It kind of depends on how your league's set up, but you could trade Jamar Chase and AJ Brown for an elite wide receiver. People might do that. That's a good idea, I think, for your team. But man, your team will come around. It will come around, especially if MT comes back. But you've got a really good squad. I wouldn't be doing too many crazy moves, but I would definitely try and get rid of AJ Brown to give some now value. I like Antonio Brown a lot too. Like if you could get like Gibby and AB for AJ Brown and someone else that's easily tradable. Should I trade Fant or Higbee for Hines? Trade Fant or Higbee for Hines? I guess I'd trade Fant for Hines if you need a running back that badly and you can't get him anywhere else, free agency, trade, whatever, and then you play Higbee. Like, I'm not opposed to trading my backup tight end for really McKissick or anybody if you need the player. You know what I'm saying? N'Keal Harry coming back, I don't know, man. I mean, N'Keal Harry's, he keeps getting hurt. You guys know how much I liked him. He was one of my bigger misses I've had in a long time. I loved his talent, but some players can't stay healthy. There was a guy named Charles Rogers for the Detroit Lions that the whole fantasy industry loved Charles Rogers. I don't know if you guys remember him before Calvin Johnson. But Charles Rogers got drafted to the Lions. They kept failing at wide receivers, and they finally get this guy, and we're like, oh my God, the Lions finally have a top 5 to 10 wide receiver. Top 5 wide receiver. Charles Rogers looked like he was going to be a top 5 wide receiver. So talented. I want to say he reminds me of I'm trying to think of a wide receiver he reminds me of in today's game. If anybody's got a comp for him, if anybody's old enough that played fantasy football when Charles Rogers was drafted to the Lions, I want to say it was like a Chris Carter meets somebody. But I really liked him. And N'Keal Harry, he got hurt. He broke his collarbone, came back, broke his other collarbone, and just never could stay healthy. And so N'Keal Harry's the same thing. AJ Brown for Swift and AB. Love that, Zach. That's what I'm talking about, Zach. That's exactly what I'm trying to get people to do, is trade away AJ. How do you even get that? How do you get Swift alone for AJ Brown, given the value of Swift right now across the board for people? Like, people love Swift, and rightly so, but how do you get AB included in that, Zach? Maybe you cooked that up and you haven't sent it out yet, because that sounds like a rejected trade offer if I've ever seen one. Like, that's going to get rejected, man. Sanders, thank you, Zinski, for the super chat. Emmanuel Sanders, Cooks, or Claypool, need one. Give me Emmanuel Sanders. Claypool is hurt and may not even play, pal. And then Sanders and Cooks. I suppose I go Cooks. He's been blowing up, man. I mean, I like Emmanuel Sanders. If you don't want to take the risk, the matchup, whatever, for Cooks, I guess I'm not opposed to going either one. Just kind of trust your gut. It feels like it could go either way in this one. And let me pull up some news here and just make sure. The Claypool question, I don't think Claypool is playing, pal. Let's see here. He's very questionable, but he's not ruled out yet, so just keep an eye on that. But even so, like, banged up Claypool or a Sanders or Cooks, you got to go probably Cooks, man. I would probably lean Cooks. So let's see what the chat says. Ridley or Mike Williams rest of year? Give me Ridley. I've got in my video coming up here. We're gonna launch it in about 50 minutes. We're gonna do a premiere. So we're gonna go from here over to the premiere link and watch the premiere that I've cooked up all day. I've been working on this video, and I talk about Mike Williams. It's the very beginning of the video. Probably the first like 10 to 12 minutes is me talking about Mike Williams. So Jay, your question is going to be answered in tremendous detail. And it's going to include Ridley. It's going to include a lot of guys, but you're going to see that in just a few minutes here. Jordan, appreciate the super chat. Zinski, thank you. Overcome, thank you. And Overcome again. Thank you for the super chat so far, fellas. They help the channel. They keep the lights on. Poor Smitty. Computer Studio One. Poor Smitty, the lights are off when the super chats aren't coming in. We can't afford the electricity. And therefore, when they come in, the lights just pop right back on. So I really do appreciate the super chats keeping the lights on, fellas. Think both Robinsons are enough for Najee. Allen Robinson and J-Rob? I think maybe, and I'd probably take Najee, pal. I'd probably take Najee. That's a tough one. But I think I do that. Oh, super chat. Computer Studio One.
Did you mean bedroom?
Computer. Never mind. Ziggy.
Canceling.
Ziggy, Studio One. Ziggy, Studio On. Brent, thank you for turning the lights on. Brent, appreciate your help, pal. Pick 2, running backs, 2 flex, Javonte Sermon, Emmanuel Sanders, Carter. Energy setting. Still haven't fixed that. 2 running backs. Javonte, if Javonte's a start, pal. If Melvin Gordon they put on the bench because he's hurt and he's on the pine this one, we're putting in Javonte in every league. So pick 2 running backs: Javonte, Sermon, Sanders, Carter, Pollard. Is that Miles Sanders? Because you're saying 2 running backs and you're listing Emmanuel Sanders. I think that's Miles Sanders. No? 2 running backs and 2 flex. Okay, 2 flex. I gotcha. Michael Carter, Rondell Moore, Pollard. I don't know how I feel about Sermon, pal. I'm gonna go Javonte and Pollard, and then I'm gonna go 2 running backs and 2 flex. I'm gonna go Emmanuel Sanders and Rondell Moore. I mean, that's a pretty clear-cut thing. Michael Carter just hits the bench. I was making that more complicated than it was. I'm breaking. Just put Michael Carter on the bench until you know more, until you see more. He's on the bench. He's on the bench. Even if Gordon's playing, if he's banged up, you're starting Javonte over Michael Carter right now. So appreciate you, Brent, for the super chat. Thank you for the great show. Thank you, Madsen. I appreciate you, pal. I appreciate you. You guys keeping the lights on. Melvin Gordon, broken ribs. I heard from Fantasy Doc. Yeah, I mean, I'm never dancing on the grave's a bad term, I guess. Dancing on the news, not on the grave. Dancing on the news of Melvin Gordon getting hurt, because I don't want anybody to get hurt, but I'm excited about the opportunity for Javonte Williams. If he can get on his horse in week 4 against the Baltimore Ravens, which granted, you know, he could have better matchups, but I'm fine. Give him the challenge. Give Javonte the ability to have enough carries to get in a groove, get in a rhythm, show us he can be a nose for the end zone, a touchdown machine. I'm excited. Zinski, sit Russ to stack Jimmy G with the. Come on, bro. No, Zinski. I appreciate you, Zinski. You're not gonna take a left if you're super chatting and you're my pal. But you don't like. First of all, let's break down your question, okay? What's going on psychologically with you with this question? You're in your head. You're going, okay, if I stack, there's more likely a chance that this is gonna work out, and I'm gonna be excited if Jimmy G throws a touchdown to Ayuk. And let me also preface, Zinski, that whenever I do this, whenever I blow something out of proportion, it ends up being the other way. So you may want to put Jimmy G in now, but you can't sit Russell Wilson to try and just complete a stack. So when you're watching the same game, pal. Like Russell Wilson and Ayuk, you don't need to worry about stacks. You're going to have one guy going off on one side of the field, hopefully, in Ayuk. Maybe not. Maybe he blows, you know what I mean? Like if Jimmy G is horrible, what's going to happen to Ayuk? You know, spread your fantasy goodness out. What's up, Tariq? So, no, you don't sit Russell Wilson. You don't sit Russell Wilson, especially to try and convince yourself you want the Jimmy G Ayuk stack. Like, I think Jimmy G could get benched by halftime. So he should be benched by halftime. And I don't know if you guys follow my Quad Box show, but I put my cojones on the line on my Seattle versus the Niner call. You guys know I'm a big Niner supporter, but I don't BS around. If I feel a certain way, I'm gonna voice my opinion, and I'm not gonna fold, you know, to like a bunch of pressure because I'm in a Niner community talking up the Niners, that I'm not gonna speak my mind and say, hey, they're gonna lose this game if they don't do this, or this. And I said, if Jimmy G plays the whole game, they lose. If Trey Lance comes in at halftime and they have a shot at winning, there's a real good shot the Niners could come back and win this game. If Jimmy G's in there, Jimmy G's not going to score enough points or lead the team down the field enough to outscore, because the Niner defense isn't stopping Seattle. I don't believe neither offense is going to get slowed down if they're popping off. You know, if one is led by Trey Lance, but if Jimmy G's leading the Niner offense, I don't think they're going to score enough to win the game. I bet my Quad Box crew, there's 4 of us on the show, that Seattle would win week 4 against the Niners because they're not playing Trey Lance. And we bet a hot chip challenge. So on the next Friday, coming up, so not tonight, next Friday when we do the Quad Box show on Instagram, go follow me on the Fantasy Football Show so you don't miss out on things like this. We're going live, and the losers got to eat a hot chip. One of those ones you buy from the store that are like, I don't know, I think they're like $20. They come wrapped one chip. And God, I don't handle hot stuff well, so I don't know how this is gonna turn out. I paid up on my other bet. I've won a lot of the bets this year, but I have lost. I did lose the big one. The big bet was that Trey Lance would start week 1, and I made that way back, you know, right around draft day or a little bit after. And so I finally paid up on that bet. And it was that I run a half a mile with a 45-pound plate. And so I did that on tonight's Quad Box show. So I ran a half mile with a 45-pound plate. It was pretty hard. I ran it with over my head for a little while, and I had to lower it about, you know, I don't know, maybe 200 yards into it. I was running with a 45-pound plate, and then I slowly had to lower it down and kind of hold it and run it. But I paid up my debt, and I'm hoping that these guys are the ones that are going to owe me with the Seattle prediction that I've got cooking, because I don't believe in Jimmy G. I'm sorry, I just don't. Thank you for the super chat, Zinski. Appreciate you. Tariq said, seen how you did it, feel the 45-pound weight, how did it feel? It was heavy. My arms are kind of tired and shot. I feel pretty good though. You know, I feel like, man, that was good. That felt good. They're hot, no fat, no cap. Yeah. I like how Jay Peach messed up typing this. They're hot, no fat. I mean, no cap. Like, JP didn't decide to go back and fix it. Just kind of keep typing. I'm not going to delete that. I'm just going to keep typing and tell you I messed up. Jay Beach, man. Oh. Benched Tannehill, AJ Brown, and Julio out, put in Garoppolo. Bench Tannehill, AJ Brown, and Julio. Okay, put in Garoppolo. Wait. What are you answering here? I don't know, pal. Overcome. Let me know what's up on that. Smitty, my team right now is Josh Allen, Eckler. Thank you for the super chat. By the way, Brandon dropping a $9.99. My team is right now is Josh Allen, Eckler, Melvin Gordon, Cooper Kupp, Justin Jefferson, Ridley, Gronk. Got offered Lamb and Swift for Ridley and Jefferson. Hold or accept. Lamb and Swift for Ridley and Jefferson. I'm going to say no. And I know a lot of people like Swift enough to do that deal, and you potentially need a running back. But I guess my question is, who else do you have besides Melvin Gordon? Like, I need to know that. Once I know that, I can kind of maybe change my mind and say lean running back. You need a running back. You need a running back bad. So if that's your top guy, but let me know who your backup running back is. I'm going to put this in the corner until I find out from you, and then we'll reassess that. But yeah, Zinski, don't start Jimmy G, pal. Not over Russell Wilson. That's a no-go. It's a no-go for me. Smitty, I sent you a super chat. Yep, I got it, pal. Let me know the answer to my question, though. Who is your next best up running back, or your next couple running backs? Bad move, overcome. I don't really understand the question. Why are these so small now? Because I made that other one small. Bench Tannehill, AJ Brown, and Julio out. Put in Garoppolo. Oh, for Tannehill, I got you. Overcome, I don't know, man. I mean, I kind of feel like Jimmy G. I don't know if Shanahan would actually bench him. So maybe you get enough production out of him. Maybe he scores 2 TDs, has an interception, barely moves the football down the field. It's not so much that Jimmy G can make the most horrible decisions. So if you start him, you might get 201 or 2 touchdowns. You know what I'm saying? But it doesn't mean he's going to, it doesn't mean that we're not going to sit here and go, he's not going to win the game. He can't score enough points. He can't move the football down the field. He doesn't make the best decisions. So I don't know that it's going to feel like a home run type play. Whereas Tannehill, at least Tannehill has a shot. I probably, and they could be winning the game. They'll be running the ball a ton. I probably take my shot on Tannehill, to be honest. I just don't feel confident in Jimmy G. I don't feel confident in Shanahan. I don't feel confident in the Niners right now. So I'm going to go ahead and say no on that, pal. I'm going to say no on that. Mello with the super chat. Should I trade Swift and Lamb for Javonte Gibson and Keenan Allen? Okay, Swift and Lamb. So you got Swift for Gibson. Most people are going to consider that a downgrade right now. I think that could change, but for right now, we've got to accept that. That's what it is. That's what the values are. And you got to kind of agree with it until Swift proves us right or wrong, or Gibson bounces back or doesn't. So right now, it is a downgrade to trade Gibson for Swift. For now. Not a huge one, though, in my mind, but a downgrade. Javonte. So Swift and Lamb. So Javonte and Keenan for Lamb. What does the chat think? What do you guys think of that? I kind of feel like he's getting a lot of talent there, and if Javonte works out, guys, let him know what you think here. We got a few people saying he'd take the trade. Why is this not returning to the size that I do that trade? There we go. Do that trade. There's another one. Trade Mahomes and Devontae Smith for DeAndre Swift and AB. Who's your quarterback, Zach? I mean, you got to let me know on that. Mike Jones says, should I trade J-Rob and Keenan Allen for JT and Devontae? So Devontae Adams and JT. J-Rob, give me Devontae Adams and JT. I mean, a heartbeat. Like, first of all, Devontae Adams is better than Keenan Allen. And JT, I still like JT more than J-Rob, personally. I know a lot of people are so quick to be like, I hate J-Rob, I hate J-Rob. He scored 2 touchdowns. I love J-Rob. He looks fantastic. Like, I'll sell J-Rob all day long. In that offense, man, the way they can look and the way they can script out a running back situation for a whole game, I'll sell J-Rob for JT all day long. And you get the wide receiver upgrade. You're upgrading both spots, pal. Young Mellow, no. Someone says no. Dak. Oh, Dak. I was like, what the heck is he writing? Where is that question again? I thought that was I thought you were trying to type DeAndre Swift, like DeAndre. So Dak, Swift, and AB for Mahomes and Devontae Smith. Give me Dak, Swift, and AB over Mahomes and Devontae Smith all day. Cameron, flex this week, Gaskin, Pittman, or Devontae. Chat, can I lean to you on this one too? Because I don't know. I probably would say, I want to say Pittman, but will he be locked down this week? Devontae. What did Gaskin do last week? Myles Gaskin, week 3, 13 for 65, 3 receptions for 9 yards, no TDs. No TDs yet at all, right? Got no TDs yet. But he did get 13 carries. I think they might want to use him. I might roll Gaskin. I might be with Mobius on this one. I feel like I think I might roll the dice on Gaskin. Pittman might be the safest option. Devontae Smith has a lot of risk, but also some huge upside. But I might go Gaskin. Yeah, I think I'm gonna say that. Got offered Barkley and Sutton for Thielen and Henderson. Barkley and Sutton for Thielen and Henderson. Give me Barkley and Sutton. And that's coming from somebody that has a lot of concern for Barkley, but I still take that and I try and turn that into something more. A couple Devontae votes. Devontae. Cameron, a lot of people are saying Devontae. I could get my arm twisted into going Devontae. I'm gonna defer Cameron to the group on this one because I'm barely leaning Gaskin. Like just hearing Devontae's name, I'm getting excited about him. So give me Devontae, Cameron. Dial him up. Julio for Emmanuel Sanders. I'd probably rather have Julio in hopes that he comes back. But if you need now, you're 3-0. But if you need this, like if you're afraid to lose this game because you're hurting at wide receiver 3 or something, then I suppose Sanders. But Sanders was a waiver wire pickup just like a week ago. So you could wait on Julio instead of being really reactive, or you could just say, hey, I really believe Emmanuel Sanders is going to get used a ton, and if you think that way, then do it. Hey, Smitty, am I dumb for trading Chuba for Hines? Yeah, not dumb, Mr. Punch. I would never call you dumb, but it's not a move I would make. I would hold on to Chuba. I would ride that wave for 2, 3, 4 weeks, pal, as long as it is, and hold him over. Like, why is this guy able to even get you on the phone for this? I know no one calls each other anymore, so I'm not literally speaking that a phone call happened, but how does he get you on the horn for this trade talk? Like, you should tell him, Mr. Punch, if you bring that kind of trash for a guy I know you need desperately, again, I'm not picking up next time. Like, this is crazy. He has a lifeline to you where he can offer you this garbage and try and get a Hines, get rid of a Hines to safeguard his team. He's asking you to save his team, and he's gonna give you a Hines. Bro, no. You ride the wave out. Tell him, watch my Chuba Hubbard this week. Tell me how you like it. And if he blows up, guess what? Price goes up. Bring me something solid. Upgrade my wide receiver into a Ridley or a Diggs, or make him upgrade you. Don't do a 1-for-1. This is how people get in trouble trading away Chuba Hubbard, Mr. Punch. They try and do a 1-for-1 because you're trying to find one player. It doesn't fit right, pal. It's awkward. And you do, here's one and there's one, okay? You can't trade Chuba Hubbard for a Keenan Allen. Of course you can't. But you can trade Chuba Hubbard and a lower wide receiver than Keenan Allen for a Keenan Allen. You can trade a Chuba Hubbard and a wide receiver like Deontay Johnson for a Diggs or a DK or a Ridley. You can do those things, but you can't trade a 1-for-1 to even to McCaffrey owners. They can't wrap their head around it. They won't feel good about it. They're going to say no out of principle. So you got to get creative. Mr. Punch, no. Do not do that trade. Croc, thank you for the super chat. Hey, Smitty, I just traded Hill, Ayuk, and Tyson Williams for Mahomes, A-Rob, and Pollard. Is it a good trade? Hill, Ayuk, and Tyson Williams. Okay, Tyson Williams throwing doesn't even matter to me. Hill and Ayuk for Mahomes and A-Rob. It depends who you have at quarterback, though, pal. But, I mean, ultimately, I'm liking that Mahomes side by a ton. You know, just value-wise. Mr. Punch dropping another super chat. Mr. Punch, have I ever told you I appreciate you, pal? Mike says 135 people in here, only 46 likes. Wipe your feet at the front door. I appreciate when you guys punch that thumbs up button because it helps the channel grow. It helps me provide you with more content. And I really appreciate all of you in here today. What are we at? 140 in the room. It's only week 3. Washington will get their air attack in order soon enough, says Peach, and I agree. Mr. Punch says, my dad is the CMC owner. Oh, you can't really work your dad over, bro. My dad is the CMC owner, and I figured Hines, okay, first of all, Mr. Punch, let's break down the psychology behind your wording. And you figured the Hines rest of season for Chuba was potentially 1-4. You figured means you wanted to cut your dad a break, and I don't blame you. Like, if it's my pops asking for Chuba Hubbard, and it was his first time playing fantasy football or something like that, I'd have a real tough time saying no to my dad. I'd be like, I figure Hines will work out. I'll take him, Dad. Oh man. Okay, so everything I said about how can this guy have a lifeline to you? It's your pops, bro. You better pick up when your pops calls you, okay? But ultimately, pal, potentially being traded, I don't know, I felt bad. I didn't even finish reading it till right now. Yeah, you know, give them to your pops, pal. Come on, don't be like that, Mr. Punch. Send them on over to your pops, bro. Maybe try and get a little bit more, though. I just don't love the idea of Hines is okay, but Chuba Hubbard's saving your... Hey, if you want to save your pops, bro, give him Chuba Hubbard. I'm not going to stand in your way. That's your dad. I was pretty rough. I'm like, if that guy, tell that guy never to call you again. This is your dad, bro. Fane, thank you, Fane, for the super chat. I'm 2-1, full PPR. Just traded Hines for Woods. Thoughts? My team is Kyler, Tyreek, Ayuk, Najee, J-Rob, Edmonds, Gesicki. Hines for Woods. I like it. I think Roberto Trees, Bobby Trees, Robert Woods, Bobby Woods, aka whatever we've named the man. We'll call him Roberto Trees. Roberto Trees is probably the most disrespected player in fantasy football. The audio's low tonight. Why do I hear that once in a while? And then other people say it sounds fine. It's weird. What about now? How are we doing now? A little bit better? Roberto Trees is the most disrespected player in fantasy right now. Like, I get it. You drafted him. You probably didn't draft him high. You better not have drafted him high. But, I mean, good Lord. I like him. I think he could be a really decent wide receiver 3 going forward. I definitely don't. Let me see. Is there something wrong with my? Did I turn something on my mic? I don't know. I feel like the levels look good. The levels look good. Let me raise this up a little bit. How about now? Is that better or was it bad? Chuba Hubbard and Gibson. Okay. So yeah, good trade. I like that, Fane. To answer your question, and I appreciate your super chat. I really do like that trade for you. Bobby Trees could definitely, I think, pick things up. I don't think that Cooper Kupp and him will swap places like they did in previous years. Look, after week 1 when Kupp went off, there was a lot of comments out there in fantasy football circles, and me included. It's like, hey, keep in mind, I know Kupp blew up in week 1, but keep in mind, Woods and Kupp rotate. But I don't think that's going to happen this year because Stafford targets a guy like that, and he's made his choice. I love Cooper Kupp, as what Stafford said. The words came out of his mouth pretty much. I'm paraphrasing, what he's doing and what he's probably saying. But to me, when you throw to him and make a guy the number 1 wide receiver in fantasy football, you're basically saying, I love that man. So Kupp is it. It's not going to rotate back, I don't think. He could get hurt. Your video just came out. I don't know. Did it just drop? Did my video drop? The one that's... No, it's set to premiere. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Your video just came out. I don't know if it was on accident. Let me go. If you're wasting my time, pal, I'm going to be pretty... It's set to premiere at 10:30 p.m. No, pal, it's not out. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? It says 24 minutes until the premiere. Exactly. Scott, or Zach, what are you doing? You're killing me, Zach. You're killing the flow of the show, Zach. It's premiering. It's set to premiere in 24 minutes, pal. We've been talking about the whole show. We're getting ready for it. It's not out yet. It's sitting there, marinating for you, Zach. It wants you to watch it in 23 minutes. That's what it's telling you. Saying, Zach, follow me. Follow me into the show. Okay, Zach, it's okay. I'm not mad at you. It's premiering at 10:30 Pacific time, and that is 1:30 p.m. Eastern. We're all waiting for it, Zach. We're getting ready. We're going to jump in there as soon as the show's over. It didn't release. Take a lap. Zach, take a lap. My buttons aren't working.
Take a lap.
At least Zach's a good sport. Thank you, Zach. Thanks for wasting 2 minutes of the show. All right, Todd, back on track. Kamara and 8 subpar wide receivers: Claypool, Pittman, Ayuk, Hollywood, Emmanuel Sanders, Callaway, Mooney, Ruggs. Trade a stud running back for running back wide receivers and hope my wide receivers pan out. No, you can't win with those wide receivers, and if you only have Kamara, bro, you got to trade Kamara because McCaffrey's out. Trade CMC first. Trade CMC for Gibson and look at the Gibson owner's wide receivers. Does he have a DK? Does he have a Ridley? Does he have a Diggs? Try and get JT or Gibson with one of those wide receivers, Todd. Diggs, DK, Ridley, even a McLaurin, whatever. Try and get one of those wide receivers. Tyreek Hill in a smaller running back you might be able to get. Try and trade CMC for that. Once you land that, take a look at trading Alvin Kamara the same way. And to see if you can get 4 players for 2. You know, that might change the dynamic of your team. But looking at your wide receivers, I don't think you can win with that. I think you could throw in a Callaway. You could throw in a Pittman. Throw in a Claypool potentially with CMC to get 2 players like that. But you have to get enough value. Do not sell low. Caleb, Henderson, Edmonds, Debo to fill in running back 2. I don't trust Hendy right now. We don't know what we're going to get from him. If you hear on Sunday morning that he's a go, he's getting all the work or something weird, which I don't think we're going to hear, then you go Henderson, I guess. But until then, no. Plug Edmonds in and put Debo in, obviously, at the flex. Thank you for the super chat, pal. Appreciate you, Caleb. Martinez says, I traded Adams for Diggs and Gibson. Love it. Love it, pal. That's how you do it. First of all, Adams and Diggs are going to be closer than people think going forward. Who cares about what's happened in the past? Who cares about Zach wasting our time for 2 minutes? I like Zach now. Zach's my friend, and I don't even care. I even forget which one it was. Zach who? I don't even remember. Therefore, Zach, I don't even know what Zach it was. There's a couple Zachs that have been in here. So, Zach, I no longer remember what your last initial was or which one you were. Therefore, I'll never remember who it was. Zach, you're good. Don't worry about the past. Don't worry about how Adams is better than Diggs, weeks 1 through 3. Diggs will be back. You got Gibson. Pat yourself on the back, Austin. Absolutely phenomenal. You missed some super chats. Okay. We'll blame that on whatever Zach it was. I just thought it was Zach F. Sorry, Zach F. I know who you are now. Zach F. Zach wasting time. F. What the F, Zach? Jacoby or Woods, give me Bobby Trees. Give me Roberto Trees. Give me Roberto Woods, pal. Didn't want to get disowned, so Hines for POTUS. Mr. Punch, if my dad asked me for Chuba Hubbard, he goes, hey, son, can you send me Chuba Hubbard for Hines? Bro, in the family league, I'd probably do it. I couldn't say no to Pops, bro. Come on now. I hope you didn't take my initial advice and tell him to get lost. I said, whoever sent that offer to you, you need to tell him to get lost. Zinski, my backs are Cook, Mixon, Swift, Eckler. Receivers are Woods and Deontay. Should I trade some running backs for a wide receiver one? And yeah. I would have told you to trade Mixon before week 4 kicked off on Thursday night, pal. I mean, Mixon's just such a risk, and he has such good value coming into this week. I know that helps you zero. You could trade Swift high, pal. You could trade Cook and divide him into 2 people. Coming back, people are going to get excited about him. He's not hurt right now. Essentially, he's coming back into the game, right? He's going to probably play. Let me check Cook and see if there's any news. He's trending toward playing. So in people's minds, they're like, hey, Cook's back. I'll trade for him. So you might be able to get him. He's still questionable, but everything I'm reading is leaning in the direction that he plays. But if he hits a setback or warms up and feels tightness, he would probably sit. So Madison owners need to hold tight. And even if he comes back, Madison owners better not get rid of Madison for nothing. He is a sleeping giant, even the moment he returns to the bench. Eckler, I would trade into 2 players. So in the case of, and the reason I keep hitting that, I need to change my energy settings. I should just do it now. Let me do it now. It gives me some good light from the left. Let's go. Let's go to energy settings. Let's fix this now. Okay, because it's more distracting than anything. Energy settings, I should have did this. You're going to ruin the life. Okay, we'll go an hour and a half. Calm down. Okay, there we go. God, it took me forever to do that. Try to trade Mixon still if you can. I doubt you can. Plus, he played, so it complicates things for making a trade this week. Cook into 2 players like Gibson and Ridley. Swift into the same thing. Swift and a wide receiver into a Gibson and Ridley, or a JT and Ridley, or a JT and Diggs. That's what you got to do. But you kind of got to do this stuff before week 4 kicks off, pal, because some of those guys are going to return to form. You won't get them cheap again. I traded Adams for Diggs and Gibson. Again, I love that, Austin. I think I kept it on the screen because I loved it so much. Got CMC, Kamara, and 8. Oh, I already got that one. Cameron. Let me see if I've got any other super chats. Cook, Swift, Eckler, receivers, or Woods. I think did I get to that one? Let's drag that on screen there, Zinski. Appreciate you, pal. Okay. Should I trade one? Yeah, I got that one. Awesome. Cameron, realistic trade targets for Ja'Marr Chase. I mean, the game already played. It makes it complicated for week 4, right? But, I mean, JT, but how are you going to do that now? You know what I mean? Because if your league won't allow it to go through until after the game, maybe he could accept it now. Depends on your league and how trades are viewed and what kind of settings there are and what format or what league management software you're using or what app. I would trade him for JT. I would trade him for Gibson. I would trade him for Clyde Edwards-Helaire. If you need a running back, this is a good move to make. You need one of those guys. You might have to give up a little bit more. That's your target. So in the case of like a JT, you may have to give up another like low end wide receiver. In the case of Gibson, you might need to do the same. In the case of Clyde, you might be able to do it straight up. Thank you for the super chat, pal. Appreciate you. And super chats always precede anything else. So if supersede anything else. So if you drop a super chat, I will stop what I'm doing and answer your super chat. Until then, we're going to the voicemails. We're going to the video messages or the audio messages on Instagram right now. And let me tell my YouTube people. If you guys want your voicemail questions or audio messages read on the live show right now, drop them in here and I will play them and answer them. That's for my YouTube exclusive chat. Ask a question, pal, and I can answer it right now on the show.
Hey, Smitty. Come on, bro. We need a live stream. Bored as fuck. Fire up that live stream, brother.
Fire up.
Silver Rapture out.
Fire up that live stream, brother. He must have sent that right before the video. Okay. Let me get to these voice messages here. Zach F. This is probably you, Zach F. This better be an apology.
Smitty, this is my apology. I'm sorry, I got the notification, thought the video came out. I'm sorry, and I definitely took my lap. Sorry, Smitty.
Bro, you don't ever have to apologize. You're a legit OG on the show, so I don't want to hear that. Take a lap for apologizing now, and I appreciate you. Sometimes I yell. I don't mean to come down hard on you, Zach. I just see so much potential in your commenting and ability to lift up the community, and it was just it was like a coach getting upset. I shouldn't have thrown my headset. I shouldn't have got in your face. Get back out there. You're my starter, bro. You're my QB1. Okay, all these people are leaving all these.
Smitty, I just traded Damian Harris and KJ Osborne for Ja'Marr Chase and Devonta Smith. What do you think?
Yeah, I like that, pal. I like that a lot.
Schmitty, should I start Odell Beckham this week at flex, or am I crazy? Over Devonta Smith? Question mark.
Over Devonta Smith.
Schmitty, should I start Odell Beckham this week?
I don't. What do you guys think, Odell or Devonta Smith? Drop it in the chat for Scotty, and we'll help Scotty out with that one. Devonta Smith or Odell? Drop it. That's okay. Let's see.
Pick 3. Javonte, Moss, Miles Sanders, Jay Taylor, Deontay Johnson, Ayuk. Also, is there any package trades I should be looking to make with those people?
Ayuk. How do you start a guy like Ayuk? Okay, let's write this down because I'm gonna forget. Ayuk.
Pick 3. Javonte, Moss, Miles Sanders, Jay Taylor, Deontay Johnson, Ayuk. Also, is there any package trades I should be looking to make
Ayuk. Ayuk.
Pick 3, Javonte, Moss, Miles Sanders, Jay Taylor, Deontay Johnson,
Ayuk. Ayuk.
Also, is there any package trades I should be looking to make with those people?
I'm going to rank them in order. If Melvin Gordon's out, this is your number 2 or number 1. I think Deontay, given that Deontay Johnson is the only healthy Steeler wide receiver, him and Javonte would be the 1 and 2, 2 and 1, however you want to rank that. I'm not starting Ayuk yet, but you know he's tempting. I'm sorry, Taylor. I would rank them in that order if it's me. If for any reason Melvin Gordon's starting, then it's between Miles Sanders and Javonte for me. Maybe Moss, but I don't know. But Ayuk has to prove himself before I consider putting him in my lineup at all. But I do like Ayuk. I'm not dropping him. Jose, what's up, Solace? Where you been, pal? Old dirty Beckham, says KB. Javonte, JT, Deontay. Yeah. Giving up Hunt or Sutton and Sanders. Giving up Hunt for Sutton and Sanders. Miles Sanders and Sutton for Hunt. Probably okay with that one. ABOZ Corporation dropping a super, which I appreciate. Thanks again, Mister, for all your super chats. Cameron, Zinski, Martinez. Good job on that trade. Caleb, Todd, Mr. Punch again. Samuel with the Roberto trees. Overcome. Fane. Mr. Punch again. Crod. Appreciate you, Crod. Mr. Punch again. Damn Punch. Cameron. Zinski again. Mello. Young Mello. Overcome. Brandon. Zinski. Overcome. Madsen. Brent Carter. Zinski again. Jordan Roberts. Appreciate you again. Jordan, if you've got a follow-up, I really want to help you with this. It was kind of tough to come up with something, Jordan, but I mean, you could always try and trade Damian Harris after this. You know, he's going to do bad this week. I keep forgetting about the matchup, man. He's got that awful matchup. Why do I keep thinking that the New England's not playing Tampa? But Jordan, hit me back with another follow-up if you got that. Overcome again. I'm reading off all the super chats. Overcome again. I'm overcome with overcome super chats. ABOZ and Roman are the current super chats on deck. I traded Amari, Melvin Gordon, and Edmonds for Christian McCaffrey. Woo! I like that, pal. I like that. I mean, who knows what Amari's going to do each week, you know? The love for Amari Cooper coming out of week 1 was crazy. People were like, this is the wide receiver 1 in fantasy. And then AB, this is a top 5 wide receiver. Everybody's jumped ship on both of them. Smitty on the laptop, super bad on the big screen. Hazelnut, I don't know that I totally fully understand that, but I appreciate you regardless. Like the amount of time and thought you put through that with that sentence, man. Just know I appreciate you. I might need some explanation. I don't know if I missed something on the super bad. I haven't seen super bad in so long. I love that trade for you, OBOZ Corporation. This is a man's trade right here. This is how you put your not only your cojones on the line, but bro, you know what you're doing. This is some good stuff. You need to make a trade. You have Lamar, Kamara, and your CMC in waiting. Singletary, Mitchell. I mean, you do potentially need some running back support here. I don't know if there's anybody off on waivers. You can get like a McKissick or something like that to fill in the meantime. McKissick's getting dropped left and right in leagues. You got Jefferson, AB's getting so disrespected, pal. I love it. Brown, Hollywood Brown's gonna bounce back. I think you got Waller. I'd maybe trade Waller. Put Gesicki in your lineup, pal. Trade Waller for a running back. Go get Gibson or JT. I would try and do that before kickoff, pal. Try and get more. Waller can command more. Remember, JT and Gibson are very low in people's minds right now. Their rankings. They want to get rid of them. And you could say, I'll give you Waller, but you got to pay the piper. Trade away Hopkins for Kupp. Hopkins for Kupp. I'm going to keep Hopkins. I'm not going to... I mean, keep in mind, Hopkins, like a week and a half ago, was potentially the wide receiver 1-2, you know, like, as well. People, like, coming off week 1, it was like, this is the guy. Like, him and Kupp, they were, like, neck and neck, you know, just a week of being hurt. And I'd rather have Hopkins, but that's me. That's me. I wouldn't be opposed to anybody wanting to go the other direction. Like, that's just the way it is, man. You know, Hopkins is hurt right now. Kupp is blowing up. I wouldn't be opposed. Your brain must be fried after these, Smitty. It kind of is, pal. But you get used to it. You get used to it. And we got the premiere coming in a second. We got 3 minutes until the premiere. Smitty, watch Squid Game. It's a movie. Okay. I'll try to, pal. I've been Netflixing a lot when I get a moment, but I'm watching Animal Kingdom on what is it, TNT, whatever. Got you, brother. I'll DM you on IG. Okay, do that. DM me on IG, Jordan. I'll look for it. Appreciate you, Jordan. I think I could better help you too if we go back and forth on a couple things. So DM me after this. Or actually, DM me now, Jordan. DM me now. Let's do it now. We got 2 minutes, 3 minutes. DM me now. Let's take care of it right now. I want to play your super chat, pal, or play your voice message. Bender, I see a text here from Bender. I'm looking for some audio messages from my people. Zach hasn't replied yet. You know, I told Zach not to apologize, and I think he's thinking up something right now. You bet, Brad. Okay, Munoz.
Smitty!
What's up, Brad?
What's up, man? Hey, I have a question.
What's up, Munoz?
Who do I start?
Call the Brad.
Tight end. You know, this position is very tight. Do I start Kyle Pitts or Dalton Schultz? And who do I flex? Either Allen Robinson, Hunter Renfrow, or Javonte Williams. Help, Smitty!
You got, I mean, Renfrow could do anything any moment, but Javonte, if you start, go Javonte. And I go Kyle Pitts, pal. I go Kyle Pitts. All right, Jordan, I'm looking for it. No pressure if you can't get it in now. Okay, Zach's finally thought of something. Zach F.
I'm just too excited for the video, Smitty. I do have one question, though. Should I start Terrace Marshall Jr. or Kenneth Gainwell this week?
Marshall right now, Gainwell is like a hold. You know, you run Gainwell out, you're going to run the risk of getting mad at him and then wanting to cut him because you expected something out of him. You wait on him. He's like Madison. Madison wasn't doing anything until his number was called. Kenny Gainwell's probably the same way. You wait. You hold him if you can. If your league's too small, your benches are too small, then you can't hold a guy like Gainwell. But Gainwell has that Madison appeal, that A.J. Dillon appeal. People are wanting to cut A.J. Dillon. You know how many messages I get? Smitty, you liked A.J. Dillon walking into week 1. I don't know about this guy, man. Aaron Jones looks really good. Who's injured right now? And Dillon's banged up too. But Aaron Jones is going to play. But he was never a player we were going to bank on. Like, he had potential flex value. He still will potentially have it. But don't be cutting these guys like A.J. Dillon and Gainwell if you can. and of course Madison. I've had people ask me, now should I cut bait with Madison now that Cook's back? Like, no, you don't cut Madison. He has the same draft appeal he had before. Okay, Jordan.
All right, Smitty. I was looking at the Zeke owner, and I was thinking about trading Pollard and A.J. Brown for Chris Godwin. What is your thoughts?
Pollard and AJ, I do that because Godwin's got top 10 potential wide receiver upside. You don't know how long you're waiting on AJ Brown. You're going to hedge your bet a little bit. You're going to cut AJ Brown loose, lose a little bit, but get immediate impact. Like, what if he's out 2 or 3 weeks? Again, I think AJ Brown could come back in 1 to 2 weeks and then we get a monster. But why did he say everything happens for a reason? You know, there's no mistakes. It's, you know, in a plan. I can't emphasize I love the attitude, but that feels like a guy that's out more than 1 week. You know what I mean? So I like that, Jordan. Go do it. Go punch it. Mr. Punch, speaking of punches, which side are you taking? Kelsey versus Hawkinson, AJ Brown? Give me Kelsey, pal. Give me Kelsey and Mr. Punch. I can't tell you how thankful I am for all your super chats and support. Oh, and the YouTube premiere is launching right now. Let me drop the thing and then I'll answer your question here. YouTube premiere. Let me drop the link. And I want everybody to go in there. We're going to watch it together. It's called the Risk Meter. Here's the link. I'm dropping it in the chat. There we go. I'm going to pin it. We're going into the premiere. It starts in 1 minute. I'm going to leave here. Pin the message. There we go. Go into that premiere right now. I'm going to go in there right now. I just dropped the link. I pinned it. Go into the premiere. Watch the live video I'm dropping right now. It's the Risk Meter episode, all about which players have risk. And this question right here. Hold on. What tab is playing that? Okay, it starts in 1 minute and 49 seconds. Let me answer this one question and then we'll jump. We'll jump in there and start chatting there. Should I trade Barry Sanders for Jerry Rice and Jerry Rice for Terrell Davis and Lavernius Coles? Definitely don't trade Barry Sanders and Jerry Rice. In fact, Barry Sanders over everyone involved, pal. No. Jerry Rice was that good. Jerry Rice versus the other two or Barry versus the other two. Doesn't matter. Both are studs. All right, guys. Go click the link. I just dropped it right now. If I missed your super chat, please DM me on Instagram right now and say, Smitty, you missed my super chat. Here's my question, and I will take care of you. Go click the link. Get in the premiere. I'm in there right now. I'm jumping in to watch the premiere right now. In fact, I'm going to leave a message. Hey, all. We only have 18 people in there. We have 148 people in here. I just dropped the link, or go to my main YouTube channel. You'll see the premiere right there. The video's dropping right now. It's a live premiere. There's now 18. There's only 18 people in there. So jump in there right now. Heineke, Harris, Hubbard, DJ Moore, Diggs, Kittle, Hunt. Don't trust Tannehill without his wide receivers. Yeah, if I'm you, I would probably trade, pal. I would go to the CMC owner and try and trade Hubbard. Does he have another quarterback, a backup quarterback? Go looking around for a trade like that. Past that, you could maybe trade Kittle, and I don't know if you could pick up another tight end and try and get a QB upgrade that way. I appreciate Stall your super chat. DM me on Instagram if you want further advice. All right, guys, I am jumping. Austin, you said you had a super chat. Austin, DM me on Instagram if you sent it. All right, get over to the premiere. It's starting in 4 seconds, 3 seconds later, everybody.